Sawasdee Krap and welcome to another week of Thailand Top Stories. Well, looks like we're marching headlong and very quickly to the end of this year. In today's report, some more big protests in Bangkok last night. Also, surprise, surprise, another raid of a restaurant/bar in the Chonburi area. And also a couple of very interesting polls, which we'll get to a little bit later in the program. But for now, let's get started with today's main news stories. Last night there were a new round of protests around some of Bangkok's busiest intersections, notably another huge gathering at the Ratchaprasong intersection that's outside Central World, where thousands gathered to continue the chants for constitutional reform and revoking of Section 112 of the Criminal Code, which refers to the lèse majesté law. Now, they also announced the next big rally would be in a month. During last night's rally, the protest leaders showed a petition of 230,000 signatures, which had already been gathered to revoke the controversial Section 112. Also seems that some enterprising locals used the rally as a chance to promote a new Thai film called Four Kings, which is about two senior colleges who have a long-term grudge, not specifically about any of the protest issues. In the latest display of force from the COVID Fun Police, another restaurant operating as a bar on South Pattaya Road has been shut down last night for violating the current local restrictions in Chonburi province. Dry Puli or Dripoli restaurant in Pattaya was raided just after midnight on Sunday after the police received calls from the public to their hotline with complaints. The restaurant appeared to be operating as a nightclub with loud music and low lighting, ignoring the restrictions. Under current regulations, restaurants can serve alcohol but must close by 11 p.m. and maintain a restaurant environment that follows social distancing, etc., etc. When police arrived, customers were dancing to the loud music and drinking alcohol, with several customers seen without masks. The owner was taken to the police station to be charged, and it's unclear if any patrons faced any charges in the raid. Meanwhile, other similar venues around Pattaya seem to be operating outside the specific local restrictions. Officially, nightlife and entertainment venues, including all bars, nightclubs, karaoke places, gentlemen's clubs and similar, are forbidden from opening at all until at least January the 15th, when the issue will be revisited by the CCSA. But many nightlife venues have responded by becoming makeshift restaurants, offering basic food for sale to justify opening and operating with alcohol and a few other services on offer. The Department of Health is issuing a reminder for restaurants to follow the COVID-19 prevention regulations, especially with the hoped-for increase of tourists during the holiday period. Restaurants should already be following the rules and guidelines set out by the government, they say, for pandemic safety. Tables should be spaced 1 or 2 metres from each other, and restaurants should be ventilated as much as possible. Restrooms need to be cleaned every hour or two, and all points of contact throughout the establishment should also be disinfected every 1 to 2 hours. Restaurants are also responsible for screening customers as they enter for COVID-19 safety practices. All patrons of eating establishments should be using the Thai Save Thai mobile application as well. Oh, great. Another new app. I've already got about 5 on my phone. I think only the More Chana app seems to work for me. Meanwhile, a meeting is on today as the CCSA looks to announce another round of easing of COVID restrictions, provincial colour coding and perhaps even changes to the Thailand Pass. We'll certainly get that information out to you first at thetiger.com. NIDA has released a new poll over the weekend indicating that the majority of Thai people are opposed to the legalisation of casinos and gambling. The NIDA poll showed that most people think that online gambling and video games with betting should also remain illegal. 1,318 people of different backgrounds and ages were surveyed around Thailand. People who oppose the legalisation of casinos say that Thailand is a Buddhist country where gambling is immoral. They also worry that betting leads to problems with money and debt, crime and family dramas. Asked if they'd ever visited a casino, 94% said no. Asked how they felt about a casino opening in Thailand, 57% said they don't agree with the proposal, whilst only 21% said they strongly agree with the proposal. Asked should online gambling and betting on video games be legalised, 6% said neither should be legal and 23% said both should be legal. Meanwhile, gambling, a lot of it underground and away from the gaze of the local constabulary, remains a popular pastime for many Thais. Whilst we're on surveys, another poll out this weekend shows that most people don't have plans to travel over the New Year's holiday, citing costs and worries of the Omicron variant of COVID-19 as the main reason to stay put. Asked, will you be travelling over New Year's holiday, 41% said they won't travel at all, 34% said they will definitely go somewhere, 25% said they haven't decided yet. Asked why they won't be travelling, 81% said they were concerned about the new Omicron variant, a variant that's so far only shown up in 4 travellers from overseas. 47% said money troubles prevent them from travelling this new year, and 39% said they're worried about tourist attractions having too much traffic congestion. Now, if you're planning to travel, why do you feel confident to take a holiday? Asked where they'd like to travel for the New Year's holiday, the top responses were 41% wanted to go to Chiang Mai, 26% to Chiang Rai, a lot of support for the northern destinations there, 25% to Prachuap Khiri Khan, basically Hua Hin, and another 20% or so for Nan and Chonburi. I'm sure a similar survey of expats or tourists would come up with a quite different top 5 destinations. Interesting. And whilst medically there's been a lot of attention to the coronavirus over the past 2 years, the Thai government pharmaceutical organisation has developed new AIDS drugs that are both antiretroviral formulations to treat complications such as anti-HCV that reduces drug resistance. The GPO is in the process of applying to register the formulas with the local FDA, and the new drugs are expected to be released to patients at the end of next year. Thailand has an estimated 494,000 AIDS patients currently, with an average of 5,825 new cases and 11,000 or so deaths a year. That's 31 people dying per day. And if the skies are clear over you tonight, look up. The Geminid Meteor shower will be visible in the night sky late tonight. The display happens each year, usually between December the 4th and the 17th, and is one of the best opportunities to see dozens of shooting stars, which are actually meteorites entering the Earth's atmosphere with the naked eye. In Thailand, the Geminid Meteor shower will be visible from around midnight tonight until sunrise, but a bright moon high in the sky might make the viewing a bit more difficult, so the real show should start around 2 a.m, way past my bedtime. At its peak, there should be as many as 150 meteors visible to the naked eye every hour. Obviously, you'll get the best show away from city lights. Okay, that's the main news stories from around Thailand as we see it this morning. Don't forget you've got Jay and Natty on Good Morning Thailand looking at some of the main issues around today. Also, we've got Jet coming up with Thailand news today. That's usually in your inbox around about 5 to 6 each afternoon Thai time. But from all of us here, you're up to date on the Thaiger.